Now that we've taken a look at how to open up our data layer attribute table, we're going to take a look at our data layer properties. So to do this, we're going to look at the Biomonitoring Zyma 2019 layer. We'll select this, right click, and then on the menu that pops up, we can go to the bottom and choose Properties. And this is going to bring up this layer properties window, which has all the properties associated with this data layer. So we have lots of different tabs here that we can look at. We're in information right now, which is just giving us a bit of information about the layer, like where it's come from. But we're going to take a look at source. So in source, you can change the name of your data layer. It's good practice to change the names of your data layers so that they're easy to read and to know what you're working with. So let's change this just to biomonitoring points so it's nice and clear what it is. Another thing we can look at in our layer properties is what coordinate system our data layer was collected or created in. We can look at this just underneath where it says Assigned Coordinate Reference System. So in the box underneath this, it tells us that our data layer is in the coordinate system WGS 84. If we want to find out a little bit more about this, we can hover our mouse over this box and it brings up this window which tells us the exact information about this coordinate system. So if we look at the first line within this window that's come up, we can see that it says GEOG CRS. So this is standing for Geographic Coordinate System or Coordinate Reference System. So it's telling us that this data layer is in a GCS, and it's also giving us the name again, so WGS 84. So the last thing we're going to look at in properties now is the metadata. So we're going to do this by clicking on the metadata tab. And we can see that within this metadata tab, we've got lots of different options for adding in metadata. But you can also see that this data layer doesn't have any metadata yet. Metadata is really useful when you're sharing data layers as it helps the user to understand what the data is showing. So let's add some metadata to our biomonitoring points. So first of all, in title, we can put biomonitoring points. And the other thing we'll add is a description of our data layer within the abstract. So in here, we're going to put locations of biomonitoring points of species within and nearby the Zyma protected area. And these points were collected from the 14th of the 1st, 2019 to the 23rd of the 1st, 2020. And we'll also tell them that the XY coordinates of the locations are given, as well as the species and the type of indication. So now if we were to send this data layer to someone and they weren't sure what this data layer is representing, what these points represent, they can check this metadata and they can get this information and understand what this data is showing. And so we'll just click the apply to make sure we save our changes. And that's it. That's how to look at the properties of your data layers.